Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about, so let's delve straight into the topic. So I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Paul Pogba. I have been keeping up to date of what's been going on with Paul Pogba on a regular basis. Also, I am going to be going through with you the signings that Manchester United could make in the summer transfer market, because as you are all aware, there's a lot of players on our agenda. I'm also going to give you the latest news on Declan Rice. Then later on in the video, I will delve into more topics. So let's start with the news on Paul Pogba. So I think it's very, very likely now that Paul Pogba will leave Manchester United in the summer. But reportedly now, if Paul Pogba does not leave the football club in the summer, we will trigger an extension on his contract unless we receive a bid in the excess of £83 million, and that is stemming from the Sun. And I know the Sun isn't a reliable source, but this is what they have basically said. So we've said want at least £83 million for Paul Pogba. Of course, we did pay £89 million for him from Juventus back in 2016. So, of course, Paul Pogba is our most expensive signing at the moment. Obviously, reports have recently, been emerging out saying, Paul Pogba could leave us for just £70 million in the summer. So, that's around £19 million less than what we paid for the player. Now, like I've said to you, I'll reiterate what I've mentioned on my recent videos. I think if Paul Pogba does leave Manchester United in the summer, I think he'll either go to Real Madrid. If he doesn't go to Real Madrid, I think he will make a return back to Juventus. Because don't forget, Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. But since he rejoined Man United back in 2016, the vast majority of his performances have been totally comparison. Now, swap deals have been on the agenda. There has been a lot of talks about it. Damasio, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he came out recently and, he's confirmed that Man United and Juventus have been in conversations over the swap deal, regarding Paul Pogba and that. And he says, Juventus are willing to put an offer in. They're willing to offer 2 of their players for Paul Pogba. The players that have been mentioned as part of a swap deal, Aaron Ramsey's been mentioned, Adrian Rabiot's also been mentioned, I think also 2 Miralem Pjanic's been mentioned in that. So yeah, swap deals have been on the agenda, don't forget. Obviously, it did confirm, was it last week or was it earlier on this week, that also 2 PSG were planning to put an offer in. They was willing to offer 2 of their players for Paul Pogba. He said they was willing to offer Julian Draxler and Angel Di Maria. Like I said, Angel Di Maria is a former Manchester United player. I think, Angel Di Maria only enjoyed 1 season, was it, with the football club. We did get him from Real Madrid for just under, was it, £60 million? And then, of course, we sold him a year later to PSG for just under £50 million. And now Angel Di Maria is into his 5th season with PSG. But I'm very, very sceptical that Angel Di Maria will come back to Manchester United. So I can't see, Paul Pogba going to PSG. Don't forget, the other week it said that Inter Milan had expressed their interest in Pogba. Of course, Inter Milan have already recruited 3 of our players. Don't forget they've got Ashley Young offers this year after he enjoyed 8.5 years with us. They also got Romelu Lukaku offers last summer, and they got Alexis Sanchez offers last summer. Obviously, Inter Milan are not going to get Alexis Sanchez on a permanent transfer. They have already confirmed that. Inter Milan, of course, could be losing Lautaro Martinez apparently. Well, maybe they won't be, because I don't think Barcelona are willing to meet his release clause. Also, too, they've got Mario Icardi out on loan at PSG. I think Inter Milan looking to get rid of him on a permanent transfer, but I can't see Paul Pogba going to Inter Milan. And don't forget, Barcelona have also been in for him in the past. Now, Paul Pogba, still does want to leave Manchester United. He's already confirmed this. So he's got the same perception as what he had last summer, because he revealed last summer that he wants to leave Manchester United because he's seeking for a new challenge. And he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club. But, last summer, we said we wanted around £180 million for Pogba. So he was demanding just over double than what we paid for him from Juventus back in 2016. But the main explanation why he's moved to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer, because Real Madrid were not willing to meet our, £180 million valuation. But revert back to last summer, like I've mentioned before, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid, about his dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and that. Real Madrid, did recruit around 5 or 6 players in last summer, but they're still looking to do transfer business, when the summer transfer market does reopen. Real Madrid are also looking to offload players, like I mentioned. They're looking to get rid of James Rodriguez. They're looking to get rid of Bale. They're also looking to get rid of Jovic, I think. Obviously, Karim Benzema's coming into an end of his career. They're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos. So Real Madrid are obviously, looking to offload players. It did confirm, was it early on this week or last week, like I updated you, this was stemming from the reports in France, and he said that Zinedine Zidane wants Paul Pogba. And Real Madrid have identified Paul Pogba as their number one priority target. But, there again, Real Madrid have got quite a few midfielders on their agenda. Don't forget, they've been in for Eduardo Camavinga, if I pronounced that right. They've been in for Camavinga from, is it Rennes? They've also been in for Donny van der Beek. It also said Donny van der Beek has been on our agenda. So there you go. And obviously, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, like I've said to you before, he's been talking a lot, since the turn of the year. And, Man United have been very, very critical, of Mini Raiola, reflecting on some of the comments he has said since the turn of the year. And Ed Woodward's had quite a few negotiations with Mini Raiola, to try and resolve Paul Pogba's future. But Mini Raiola's got a good, relation with Real Madrid. I think Paul Pogba's also got a very, very good relationship with Zinedine Zidane. And, like I said to you before, I think I mentioned it a while back, Paul Pogba's, relationship with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has deteriorated, let's be honest. And obviously, Solskjaer knows how much of an imperative player Paul Pogba is. Obviously, Solskjaer watched from this team at this day and age grow and develop, because don't forget, Solskjaer managed the Man United reserve team from 2008 to 2010. But he did, one of the players he did watch grow and develop, and that was Paul Pogba. Because, we had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger, don't forget, back under the Alex Ferguson era. But we had to let him go due to limited appearances. And, we did let Paul Pogba go on a free transfer. But Paul Pogba, did reveal what convinced him, to leave Manchester United when he was a lot younger. And I think, his mother and his brother, played a part in it as well. His brother, has always said, that Paul Pogba, will end up going to Real Madrid and that. Don't forget, Rio Ferdinand has come out and give his verdict on Paul Pogba. And, Rio Ferdinand has actually, advised Paul Pogba to leave Manchester United in the summer. Because I'll reiterate some of the stuff I did mention on my video yesterday. Rio Ferdinand hit back at Graham Souness and Roy Keane. Because, obviously, they've been his biggest critics. Pogba, Roy Keane and Graham Souness. They've been his biggest critics in that. And, Rio Ferdinand, hit back at them. Because, Graham Souness has been criticising Paul Pogba persistently. And don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, Paul Pogba responded to the criticism that Graham Souness, had given him and that. Paul Pogba just basically said he doesn't recognise Graham Souness and all of that. I think, Graham Souness also criticised him, when he attended his brother's wedding. Was that back in March? So there you go. Rio Ferdinand, I think, also outlined Paul Pogba's best position. But Rio Ferdinand has been talking a lot about Paul Pogba recently. He obviously, he had Alan Shearer. He came out quite a few weeks ago, and he says that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made a decision on Paul Pogba's future. But like I said, Paul Pogba, gave an interview to the United podcast the other week, and he was talking about, the issues that he's had with injuries, especially this season. Because Pogba's only played 8 times this season for the football club due to his injuries. He's only played 8 times for the football club. And I think he's become very, very infuriated, with the injuries, that he has sustained. And that. But like I said, I think Paul Pogba has made around, 140 odd appearances in all competitions since he rejoined, and he scored around 31 goals. Paul Pogba's won 2 trophies with the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. Don't forget, Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. He had a very, very bad relationship, with Jose Mourinho did. Pogba and that. But since he rejoined the football club, he's been subjected to a hell of a lot of transfer speculation. Did confirm the other week, that we've decided not to trigger that 1 year extension on his contract. So Pogba now has got exactly a year remaining on his Manchester United contract. And that I think Solskjaer's also had a few negotiations with Pogba regarding his future at the football club. Obviously, revert back to before when all the football season was suspended. Though it was totally contrast then what was coming out to what's been coming out recently, because it said then like Paul Pogba said he was interested in staying at Man United and he was interested in extending his contract. Then you had Solskjaer reiterating what he'd said in Austria. I think this was prior to the last game. Solskjaer said, Paul Pogba will remain at Man United next season. But now, I think reflecting on recent reports, I think Paul Pogba is on his way out of the football club. But I think he's definitely worth at least £100 million as the player. I really, really do. But we've said, want at least £83 million for him. If we don't get an offer in the excess of £83 million, we are going to trigger an extension on his contract and that. And Pogba is the age of 27. Still got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. But I've got to say, I think he'd go very, very well alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. I really, really do. And, they complement each other really, really well. They really, really would. So that is the latest news on Paul Pogba. Now, I'll delve into news on Declan Rice, then I'll go through with you, the signings that Manchester United could make in the summer. So the news is now on Declan Rice is that reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made a decision regarding Declan Rice, and he's confirmed that Manchester United are not interested in Declan Rice. Recent reports have suggested out saying that West Ham could be forced to sell Declan Rice in the summer transfer market because, West Ham are planning an overhaul on their squad. But West Ham have basically said, they want £70 million for him now. Don't forget, we've been in for Declan Rice in the past. Also, too, Chelsea have expressed their interest in Declan Rice. So could he possibly, could he go reunite with Chelsea? Because don't forget, Declan Rice is a former Chelsea player. Declan Rice was in Chelsea's youth academy for, several years. I think he was in their youth academy for a good 7 or 8 years. And then obviously, Chelsea axed him in 2014, but he never got in Chelsea's senior squad, did Declan Rice. And Declan Rice has now been at West Ham for several years and that. Got to say, he has done very, very well. I think he's made around 90 appearances in the Premier League for West Ham. And he is only the age of 21 and well proven in the Premier League. His hold-up play is very, very good and he can also break up the play very, very well. Declan Rice is predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can also play as a centre-half. He has got a long-term contract with West Ham. He is under contract with them until 2024. But yes, I am, very, very sceptical now, that Manchester United are going to sign Declan Rice. So there you go. So that's the latest news on him. I think it also mentioned that Arsenal have expressed an interest in him. So let's go through with you now, the signings, that we could make in the summer transfer market. So, one player, that Manchester United could sign, and that is Jadon Sancho. Now, I have been keeping up to date of what's been going on with Jadon Sancho on a regular basis. Now, I forgot to mention this on my recent video that I did earlier on. There has been actually, talks that, he could actually, go to Liverpool. Because actually, Liverpool's Trent Alexander-Arnold has urged Jadon Sancho to join them and that. But, I don't think Jadon Sancho will go to Liverpool, to be quite honest with you. It's also emerged out from the mainstream media recently, saying that Real Madrid and Barcelona have expressed their interest in Jadon Sancho. So that could be a transfer blow for us. Now, obviously, recent reports did emerge out saying that Jadon Sancho has got an agreement with Borussia Dortmund. And Borussia Dortmund did say that Jadon Sancho can leave in the summer, providing that their asking price is met. Now, Borussia Dortmund have said, they want at least £100 million for Jadon Sancho. Some reports have said, they want around £120 million for him. But either figure, would make him a record signing in the Premier League, and it would make him our most expensive signing if we were to get Jadon Sancho on the board. Now, obviously, if Jadon Sancho is sold, City will benefit from it. it did actually, say that Manchester City will get around 15% of the transfer fee, because obviously, Jadon Sancho is a former Manchester City player. Don't forget Sancho enjoyed a couple of years with Manchester City, but he never really got assured any first team opportunities, so that's the main explanation why he left City to join Borussia Dortmund. Don't forget it's confirmed, that we're willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7. Like I said, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, and like I've said to you before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. There again, our recent number 7s haven't been so good. But I've outlined, the couple of reasons, why it will be beneficial for us to recommend Jadon Sancho in, is because Jadon Sancho's well proven in the Premier League. Also, too, he's got a really, really good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He's got a really, really good friendship with Marcus Rashford. Rashford even revealed himself that he wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United next season. He wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United next season. And I think, Jadon Sancho, would complement our attacking line really, really well. I think, he would go well alongside the likes of Greenwood, Rashford and Anthony Martial and that. So, they are the couple of reasons. And, if Dortmund are to sell Sancho in the summer, they would make a huge profit on the player, because Dortmund only paid £7 or £8 million in from Man City back in 2017 and that. But yeah, so, we could actually, sign Jadon Sancho. He is one of our priority targets. It did say, though, we are planning to sell around 4 or 5 players to fund the move for Jadon Sancho. And Jadon Sancho is predominantly a right winger. And don't forget, we are in search for a right winger in that. Obviously, it did say last week that, Borussia Dortmund believe that they can convince Jadon Sancho to stay, because, Borussia Dortmund believe, they can give him a new contract. It said the other week they could get him a 1-year contract worth around £9 million. If he was to sign this new contract, that would make him the second highest paid player at Borussia Dortmund, behind Marco Reus. But we've been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. Back in 2017, before he went to Dortmund, reports were saying we came close to getting the player and that. But, I'd love Manchester United to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer market and that. So he's one player, Man United could sign. We could also sign Jack Grealish as well in the summer transfer market. If we were to get Sancho and Grealish, that would cost us nearly £200 million for both players. Now, I do expect Jack Grealish to leave Aston Villa at the end of the season, because obviously, there's a lot of people out there now that believe that Jack Grealish is far too good for Aston Villa. And even if Villa were to avoid relegation, I still don't think that'd be enough to convince Jack Grealish to leave. If Villa were to get relegated, then I think it would be a cheap solution. But if Villa were to avoid relegation, then Grealish would cost around 70 or 80 million pounds, something like that. There has been quite a few clubs that have been in for Jack Grealish, but we've said Jack Grealish is our preference over James Maddison. And we've outlined a couple of reasons, why Grealish is our preference, because Grealish is a cheaper solution. Plus, he's more versatile, I think, than Maddison. And before the football season got suspended, Grealish was in better form than James Maddison. Now, Grealish is predominantly an attacking midfielder, but he can also play him as a winner. He did actually, say the other week that, we've got a controversial plan to play Grealish as a right winger if he does come to Manchester United. But, Jack Grealish is not predominantly a right winger, isn't he? But Grealish, has remained loyal to Aston Villa for several years. Actually up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. And Grealish, has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. So he's another player, that we could sign in the summer. Obviously, there's another player, that Man United could sign in the summer, and that is Moussa Dembele from Lyon. Now, I give you the breaking news, didn't I, regarding Moussa Dembele on my last video, because reports have emerged out of the mainstream media today saying that, Moussa Dembele is interested in making a move to Manchester United in the summer transfer market. Now, also to Chelsea have expressed their interest in Moussa Dembele. Now, we've inquired about Moussa Dembele's availability before. I think he would cost us in the excess of around £70 million. He would cost us in the £70 million range, would Moussa Dembele. But he has come out and made an admission and said he would be interested in making a move to Manchester United in the summer. Now, Moussa Dembele is into his second season with Lyon. I think he's scored around 42 goals in 88 games for Lyon as Moussa Dembele. And he has got a contract with them until 2023. So he's got like 3 years remaining on his contract. Lyon did pay around £20 million to him from Celtic in the summer of 2018. He enjoyed a few good years with Celtic, scored 51 goals in 94 appearances for Celtic. And I think he's a very, very good player. Prolific goal scorer, hold-up player, very, very good. Only young as well. Moussa Dembele is only the age of 23, isn't he? He allegedly said back in January that Chelsea had agreed personal terms with the player. Another beneficial thing about us recommending him in is that he's well proven in the Premier League. Don't forget he played for Fulham. He actually began his senior career with Fulham, did Moussa Dembele. So there's a possibility chance that we could sign him in the summer. Possibility chance that we could sign him. Harry Kane, I fully disregard us getting Harry Kane. I don't think we're going to get Harry Kane in the summer transfer market. Very, very sceptical that we'll sign Timo Werner because, his preference is to make a move to Liverpool. So I don't think, we'll get Timo Werner, but he has been on our agenda as Timo Werner. Haaland. It was a shame actually, that we didn't get Erling Haaland in the January transfer window because, like I said to you before, he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type sign, would Erling Haaland. Solskjaer knows the player well because Solskjaer worked with Erling Haaland, at Mould, and Solskjaer was the one that gave Erling Haaland his debut at Mould. So maybe we've got a slight chance, of signing him in the summer. It did say the other week that, we have reignited our interest in the player. But, there has been, quite a few strikers on our agenda. I think it's also very likely that we are going to get Odin Ighalo on a permanent transfer. I think Solskjaer's identified his number one priority striker, and that is, Odin Ighalo. It's already confirmed it will cost us around £15 million to get Odin Ighalo on a permanent transfer. So that is a cheap solution, isn't it? And Odin Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I think he's got like 4 goals in 3 starts. I think he's a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford, is Odin Ighalo. We have got him on loan at the moment. We've paid around 3 or 4 million to get Odin Ighalo on loan, and we're paying like a third of his wages at the moment. Ighalo's loan spell at the football club ends on the 31st of May. Yes, it doesn't that. I think there was reports saying that, we could extend it due to the coronavirus pandemic. And that it did come out, was it a month or so ago now, saying that his parent in club Shanghai Shenhua, they'd offered him around 400 grand a week, plus a 2-year contract extension to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Man United. But I think Ighalo, does want to remain at the football club because I think he has, been a very, very good cover-up for Marcus Rashford. Yes, he has in that. And like I said, he's a lifelong Manchester United fan as well. So there you go. So yeah, there's we could make a few signings in the summer transfer market and that. Don't forget, Ed Woodward, has been talking a lot recently. I'll reiterate what I've mentioned on my recent videos. Don't forget Ed Woodward came out last Friday and he said, that our business, we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So what he meant in that aspect is that, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. So basically, he ruled big transfers out to Manchester United. This is what he told the fans forum last Friday. But don't forget, Ed Woodward came out yesterday and he made a transfer promise to Solskjaer, insisting, that he will back Solskjaer, to win trophies at the football club. So probably Ed Woodward believes that Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Man United. And also to like I said, he's backing him and that. And Ed Woodward, basically said, we will remain highly competitive in the summer transfer market. So, Ed Woodward has, been talking a hell of a lot. Solskjaer, like I said to you before, has already revealed his plans for the summer transfer market. Don't forget Solskjaer came out quite a few weeks ago, and he does insist, that we will exploit the transfer market when it does reopen. So Solskjaer believes, we can get the right calibre players into the football club. Don't forget he's already identified the areas where he does want to strengthen up. And I think also a lot of people are excited about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy because he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British players to Manchester United. Like I said to he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, does Solskjaer. Obviously, so far he's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club and he has spent around £220 million as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And of course, in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in that. But, he's still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. So, like I said, he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. But I can definitely know assure that Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. Solskjaer, of course, has been at the football club for around 16 months now, including, that 3 months when he was the interim manager. So he has now been here over the year. But before the football season got suspended, like I said, we was in a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. Like I've said, Solskjaer's promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their chances this season. Also, our record against the Big Six sides this season. Big Six sides this season's also been very, very good. Hopefully, the season can resume, because we can get some silverware on the board this season. We are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We are into the last 8 of the Europa League. And I want us, to get some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. And hopefully, next season, we can mount a title challenge up. That's provided, we can get the right players to Manchester United. Because, I want us to win the league within the next 2 to 3 years because, we haven't won the league since 2013. Of course, the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and that. But like I said, it is a transition period and, Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period and that. But, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, we have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. Like I said, we haven't dominated football, since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Ferguson endured 27 years at Manchester United, and we had 20-odd years of success under Alex Ferguson. Don't forget, though, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, when we recommended him in from Aberdeen and that. But, Solskjaer won't replicate Ferguson's legacy, but, I don't think any manager will replicate Alex Ferguson's legacy. But obviously, since Ferguson's retirement in 2013, like I said, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, 3 managers have gone since Ferguson. Moyes went, Louis van Gaal went, and Jose Mourinho went. And we spent close to the £1 billion range on recruiting players in, and we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. So we spent a hell of a lot of money, but always spending big on players, doesn't always guarantee you success. So let's just put that into the equation. Let's just put that into the equation. But like I've said to you, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England, don't forget. And, hopefully, we can get back to being a competitive elite level football club and that. But like I've analysed it throughout the course of this season, it's not honest. Not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Some of the blame stems from him, of course. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, Man United have been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. For several years, especially this season. Ed Woodward's basically been criticised for, of how poor our recruitment's been for the last 6 or 7 years. Obviously, of us overpaying for players as well. Obviously, we've been down in the club's ownership, the Glazers as well. Let's put that into the equation. So there you go. So, like I said, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at the football club. And then if it doesn't work out, then that's when, I would get rid of him. Obviously, it'll cost us to get rid of him if we get rid of him in this 2 years. because Solskjaer's got 2 years remaining on his contract. We'd have to pay something in compensation to get rid of him and that. But, like I said, we have got a lot of good players in our team, and I think there's still quite a lot of players at the club that do have a foreseeable future at Manchester United. I definitely think David De Gea, is the foreseeable future at the club. Don't forget, David De Gea recently came out, and he actually, said he intends on staying at Man United for another 10 years. He's now heading into his 10th year at the football club now. He's David De Gea. He's been here 9 years now. Obviously, I think Rashford's definitely the long-term future for Man United. The signings that he's recommended I've got to say, the long-term future for the club. Probably Fred, Lindelof, their long-term futures at the club. So there's quite a few, that have got foreseeable futures at Manchester United. Like I said to Solskjaer's planning to get rid of around 5 players in the summer, and we're hoping to generate over £100 million for the 5 players that we do get rid of. I've already gone through with you, the players that I think Man United are going to get rid of and that. So there you go. Nothing much more really to say. But I think there's been a good 14, 15 players in our agenda, who we could, go in for in the summer and that. But we've got to, do the right business in the summer, because you're going to have Chelsea that are going to probably make signings. Liverpool will look to make more signings. City, will probably look to make more signings as well. So there you go. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very soon.